Crypto Pirates? Welcome to your Discourse Syndicate's FN Hangout. I am the captain, your captain, RG3, bringing you your channel, your show. The link is in the in the description and in the Twitters and in all the Telegrams, and we're going to post it one more time here for you in the comments. So there it is. That is your show. This is your show. You're supposed to come in here and talk to the community. Not just me every single week, not just Kinetics every single week, but you guys. This is your show. This is where you get to come in and show your freaking salt during the bear market. Are you participating? Are you being part of it? Are you talking to everybody? Are you encouraging? Are you fudding? What are you doing? Are you hanging out in spaces, talking all day long? Oh my gosh, those spaces, man, all day long. Just some of the stuff that I check into and hear you guys talking about is pretty hilarious. So, all right, let's say hello to everybody because it's been a long week. I am beat down, dirty ass tired today. I helped a buddy move because of circumstances out here. And see, certain counties in California they're different. All the counties are different, the laws and things and how businesses are treated and whatnot. I happen to live in a very business friendly county, a very, I guess, rights favored county. And you don't have all the same things that you have like in LA County, that you have in my county. So, for instance, my buddy who's got a shop that he's run for, 20-something years, auto shop, makes builds and fixes Volkswagens. Guy said, hey, man, we're not renewing the lease this year. This has been going on for like 6 years. I've been telling him, we're not going to renew the lease. They renew the lease. Well, this time they didn't renew the lease. They shut everything down and said, nope, we're selling the property. We're mowing it down. They're going to put some other stuff here. So he had to try and find a new place. Can't find a new place in LA because nobody wants anybody who works on cars and grease and oil and stuff there because of the strict environmental laws. So, not that I'm railing against environmental laws, but I think it's about impact. Like, where's the sensible impact? It's one thing to knee jerk and say, oh, we don't want any of this anymore. But how do you service the public? How do you keep from hurting small guys without doing like a real good impact study? And then trying to help out the people that you're about to screw over with your legislation. That's the one thing I wish that governments would really do before they pass these laws and just throw things in people's faces is what's the impact? What is it going to do to people? What is it going to do to the little guy? What is it going to do to the hardworking folks? That's the thing I wish they'd do more of versus just knee jerking things and making laws. Oh, but they'll throw something in real quick too that'll favor people who pay for the legislation to be made. So, but anyway, my little rant. I was kind of bummed seeing my buddy, 20-something years of his life just getting shoved into a van and then shoved into storage facilities and people's houses and giving stuff away and just watching the anguish on his face while that whole day was going on. It was pretty rough. So anyway, I'm exhausted mentally, emotionally, whatever. But let's say hello to everybody. Not to bring this down. Let me try and see if I can pick it back up. Try and pick it back up here. Get some more energy. Melf Tony, thanks for everything, bro. Good to have you here. T-Bird, the king, the producer, the king himself is in here. Boom. What's up, baby? Sandy Beach, my lady. Oh, welcome. And Doug. We got a Doug. Welcome, Doug. And Hexy Quinn, good to see you. Came here to party. Oh, Hexy Quinn's partying, guys. So stand by in the chat room. Let's see. Crypto Surfer 369. Did you go catch some waves? Man, the waves in California have been monsters. Like they shut down half of Bolsa Chica Beach because the water levels have overspilled from the from the wetlands, and it's a mess out here. It's just a mess. All the runoff when we have rains like this in LA and in Orange County and whatnot, our beaches get trashed because all that water, flows out from the city, cleans all the streets that haven't been cleaned for, who knows. So this is where all the bodies that have been shoved into the drains and stuff pop out into the ocean, and they find arms floating around the beach, and toxic levels are so bad you can't go surfing anymore. Really, really sad. Not to bring it down again, not to bring the show to a screeching halt and bring it down again. But anyway, let's say hello to everybody else. Crypto Journeyman, Robert Kelleher Jr., Crypto Compassion. Hey, welcome. Who else? Sibadoo. Welcome. Who else? Vets in Crypto. Hey, good to have you here. Shout out to our vets. For those serving right now, those who have served, and those who are no longer with us. Tauren, what's up, my buddy? And who else is in here? Doorsy, where's my nips at? He is waiting patiently in the back room. I'm sure he's got some cool stuff to slap at you guys. Who else? Mudhog. Hey, Friday night to you too, man. DB Cooper. Yep. DB Cooper. Hey, have anybody seen that new DB Cooper documentary? Well, they think they found the guy that's DB Cooper right down here in my town of down in Coronado, where I want to end up one day. Let's see here. Who else? Duke of Booze. Cheers to you too, Duke of Booze. Keep it going. Keep it flowing tonight. Keep it flowing. And that looks like. Oh, and Degen Dougie. I like the name. What's going on, Degen? Negex and Frank. Okay. We're doing good today. We are. And let me get to the bottom of this. Miss Hexquisite, welcome everybody. FN Hangout. This is your stream. Like I said, this is where we just talk about everything. Hexicans come in here, or non-Hexicans, people that have questions, want to talk shit about us or Richard or Hex or Pulsec, come on in, share your thoughts with us. That's what this is for. So without any more further BS or hellos to everybody, this is my partner, Kinetics. What's
Hi,
up,
guys.
dude? Kenny B.
Yeah, long time listener, first time caller. How you doing today?
We're great. So welcome, Kenny B.
Well, thank you, sir. Kenny B, because it rhymes with E3.
So. Kenny B from E3. But isn't
that's right. This guy doesn't watch any of my videos. They're only like 6-7 minutes long, man. It's not like
you've only made
all day.
2 or 3, right? I figured I'd get them all in one shot.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start.
I don't watch any of our stuff. I haven't watched a stream in I don't know how long.
That's all right. It's been so long since I watched you in Famous stream. I forgot what he looks like. So fair enough. Yeah. It's all fair.
Yep. It's all fair. Oh man. Well, at least there's a few people that are clicking on it every once in a while.
That's right.
So that's it. Kenny G's brother, Benny G. Kenny B. Kenny. Anyway, tongue twisted. Kenny G is the Keenly B remix is fire. Kenny G and the oh gosh. Kenny G.
Oh my gosh. Dorsey. Guy. Dorsey's the worst.
Kenny G's
I'm not even gonna read it out loud. Just not even read it out loud. And I love him at the same time. I can't be mad at the guy. I love him to death. No,
you just have to time him out. You just have to put him in the corner. It's like your kid, you love him, but hey, go put your nose up in the corner and don't move. Anyway, so what's been going on, big dog? I know that
lots going on, man.
I know for sure we can't talk about any of the highest stake stuff in our meeting today.
That was an amazing meeting. Wish you guys could have been there. But we can't talk about it.
We were blasted in saying that we needed to shut the F up because we all talk too much.
Yep.
Including Richard.
Especially
Richard. So anyway. So no update. There was an update, but no update. Yeah, what a surprise. Right, T-Bird? I shouldn't even said anything. And why mention the meeting? Because I couldn't help myself. We can't help ourselves.
We couldn't help. Yeah.
But what else is there to talk about?
Right.
Like, it's like the sails are like flopping in the wind right now. It's just.
And when he says sails, he means the sail, like the actual fabric on a ship, not the sale of anything, like business transaction sale. Not anything. That. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the sails of the pirate ship are flapping in the wind.
Yeah, we're just kind of sitting out in the ocean.
Yep.
Calm seas, nothing going on other than people just loving to hurt each other. I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah, what is that all about?
What's all the violence out there with everybody? Why so much violence? Why people want to kill each other? I don't get it. It's like it never works out for anybody. I mean, every once in a while, like maybe there's a good killing every once in a while, but that's very few and far between. Yeah. And like the general out there just freaking unloading on each other and going and walking into a place and saying, oh, this looks like a good place to unload my ammunition. That's just, I mean, come on, peeps. Come on. That's not taking a bunch of people out with you on your way out the door is not the way to go. Just be gone, go do your thing, do yourself, and let everybody else be. Because everybody else has lives and stuff that they care about and want to go, live versus you who may want to go and end yourself. So just go do that in private or something.
Yeah. Stop dragging everybody else down.
Yeah. You know what the best thing to do is like go do it in a real painful manner. Like roll down a 300-foot cliff or something, and just make it very, very painful. That way you can experience all the hurt and angst and all that in, one shot. So
you can feel what you're inflicting on others.
Yeah. There you go. Oh man. I am really tired tonight.
I'm not tired, but I'll tell you what, we're busy, man. We're busier than we've ever been.
Yeah. The bear market.
It's been good though.
Has brought it.
I wish we got a little more support from the community. The people that are here right now, amazing people. Thank you so much. You guys are week in, week out. You guys, nothing but positive comments in the DMs. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for being the best of the best in this community. You guys really are.
Yeah, I like this one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when it gets boring, it just means the tide is setting in. The tide will come in soon. You know what? I remember the original RG1, the captain, the commander himself, my pops. He would say, "Boy, if you're bored, that means you're a boring person, and you better go fix that." So I'd be like, "Shit, what the hell is that supposed to mean?"
I'd like to be bored right now.
I had to try and not be a boring person. Yeah. Where's Lifers at? Where Lifers at? I don't understand. Tripod. Just that tripod. Is that Kool-Aid? No. Smash the dislikes for the algo, of course. Thank you.
We're cool with that.
Yes. Smash the dislikes. Comment.
We're cool with that.
Talk shit.
Just interact with it. Doesn't matter if you like it or hate it. Just interact with it.
What's this? Fuck that. You see what Power City tweeted? No, I usually don't see what they tweet. Not that I care a whole bunch. I don't know. There's something important. Did somebody announce something?
Yeah, let us know, guys. I don't consume a lot of other people's content, including tweets these days. Literally just too busy, which is great. It's a good problem to have.
But it's garbage too, man. The tweets out there are just absolute garbage lately. It's just people saying that they got information and they don't. And blah 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 blah.
I'm sorry about that. I'll be right there to. I love interacting with the chats here, but gotta finish this up real quick because having an issue with my my editor today.
What's wrong?
Editing my newest video. Having some issues with it.
Can't you just get like open AI video editor to do that for you or something?
Right?
Right?
Someone show me how to use that. Someone show me how to do that.
Isn't there an open
AI
AI
to edit my videos?
There's got to be an AI video editing.
I messed up the layout for my editor because you can customize the layout, and now I don't know what the hell I did, and I can't get it back, and it's not as user friendly as it was before. So
wait, what's this? Cointelegraph doing their Eric Wall's puff piece is a bottom signal for Hex of the highest order. A puff piece on Eric Wall.
I love it.
Gosh, that guy, old Eric Wall. Interesting little bitch he is. Interesting little bitch. One day I'm going to get to meet him. One day, Eric. One day I'll get to meet you. Shake your hand. Shake it. Just shake that hand. Shake the shit out of it. Oh, can you tell I'm losing it today? Losing it.
It's all right, man. It's been you're right, man. It has been a long week.
It has. It seems like it has. And I'm supposed to be doing less and less and less.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Power City is forking liquidy.
JFK now, no.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Horrible.
Ooh. All right. Well, what has been happening this week in the news that we can bring up other than, the tragedy crack? I don't want to talk about that. There is a new, what is it? Some kind of a committee being formed to tell us what cryptos are safe and what cryptos are not safe.
Yeah.
I saw that. That's being formed by the Biden administration. Wow. Interesting that they're going to tell us, the crypto space, what is good and what isn't, or what's safe and what isn't.
The irony, right?
This ought to be good. This ought to be real good. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, the government's going to tell us.
It's a matter of who's on that committee, who paid to be on that committee, who's doing what political favor.
Who pays to be on the committee, right? That's really the words that should be being used is who's getting paid. I like what the vets and crypto say. Yes, please, government, save me from myself. Oh, step in. Yeah, I don't have any faith and confidence in that.
I mean, you don't believe it when they tell you I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
I'm here to help. Oh man. Yeah, to serve and protect, right? Yeah. Well, anyway, we're going to see legislation this year. We'll see it. We'll see something. Well, maybe not legislation, but at least we'll see them talking. I'm not 100% on. What does it say? I am not 100% on Buck's teat like some people, but his utter lack of
give a F is great. I do like that about him.
On who?
Buck Fiat. I
Buck
think that's
Fiat.
who. Yep.
Is that who he's talking about?
Buckfoot, as he calls himself. So Bob's not 100% on Buck's teat, like some of the people in our community, but he does like the fact that he just doesn't give a damn.
Buck sure told GRC. Oh, but he was on GRC
Oh
show.
man. Oh
well,
man.
that's not
Someone
hard.
put a link in
I
here.
mean,
Yeah, someone put a link in here. I want to see that. I hold no hater or ill intent towards GRC, but man, that guy, man,
he just steps in it all the time.
Literally, that's the
he's
best
like
way to
looks
put it.
for piles of shit and steps in them, and then smells his shoes and says, "Look, I got shit all over my shoes, everybody," and smells it again,
and does it publicly. Yes,
and does
over
it
and
publicly.
over again.
I love the guy. He's just freaking. He's got a couple of shoes full of shit. Dorsey, that's not nice. I think Sandy actually said it first. He's young, and that's what it really is. Is it's the inexperience, communication inexperiences is all. That's knowing when to be quiet, knowing when to talk, knowing what to say and what not to say. That's all. And he's up and coming. He's just, he's just cutting his teeth right now. He's just getting things going. He's got great energy. I think he's talented. He's got charisma. And as he grows and learns and gets his ass handed to him a whole bunch of times, he's going to become real good. You watch.
There you go.
Not nice. Let's show the comment anyway. Yeah, not nice, but show the comment anyway. Yeah, well, you know what I did there, right? Yeah, GRC quit weed as well. Oh, maybe he shouldn't. Maybe he should be careful about that. The meds thing.
Say that? Did you really just say that?
Well, maybe he should. It's medication, right? I mean, you probably wouldn't want to get off your meds just right away or cold turkey. Be careful with all that stuff.
All right.
I'm droning on again and again. Yep, that's what it feels like this show or streaming has turned into with the bear market. Is droning on over and over again. It's talking about the same things that aren't happening. Da, 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 da. Oh, there's the link, I think, to okay, let's leave poor GRC alone. Let him be. Let him be. He's out there doing the damn thing, and he's had his ass handed to him a bunch of times. But he keeps going. That's what I like about him. He's got no quit in him. Just keeps on going, no matter how.
There you go. That's admirable.
No matter how bitch slapped he gets, he keeps on ticking. It is. I mean, that's how you learn. That's how you evolve. That's how you gain knowledge. That's how you toughen up, getting your ass beat. So the solar panel system is capable of producing 8,000 watts worth of power an hour. So you can use that power in your house during the day instead of the electric company.
Oh, good. I like that. How do I sign up? Where is your link, sir?
All you got to do is hang out at my house in the afternoon hours between 3 and 6, and you'll have 5 offers to put solar up on your house. Just stand at my front door. Some of them are entertaining. Some of them are annoying. Some of them are horrible salesmen. But man, I'll tell you what, you will get 3 to 5 solar guys show up at my house.
So my question is, what is the solar to pest control ratio of salesmen that come to your front door.
You know what's funny is that we haven't had pest control guys out here for a long time.
Oh, gotcha.
Because we used to
I
get
know
them.
what neighborhood to hit up. I am starting a new pest control sales team, and I know exactly where I'm starting.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we haven't had pest control in a long time.
Your community is ripe for the pickings. There you go, Robert Kelleher. There's the StreamYard link, buddy.
Yeah, these guys that run these door knocking campaigns and whatnot, they make good money doing that stuff, man.
What is that company Aptive? There's a guy, he's a real estate investor out of Idaho. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. I should know it. He's a really nice guy. Anyway, he runs like a $10 million a year sales team, and he makes buco bucks just running the sales team. I mean, obviously he used to hit the pavement himself. Now he just trains guys and puts them out on the street. Yeah. But
those canvassers, man, they go out there and do some money.
He makes a killing doing it. It's
my buddy used to travel.
Aptive is the name of the company.
They travel all over the country. Like they'll go during the summertime to a certain state in a certain area that they've scouted out, and boom, they just plop in. They all rent a house together, and they're just boom, 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 pounding it every day. They do it 7 days a week. Yeah. Oh, hey, we've got some folks in here.
We do. We got some Hexicans we need to bring up.
Bring them all up. I'm gonna bring them up. This is, ladies and gentlemen, Tauren. What's up, dude? Look at you.
Mic check. How you guys?
Yeah, it works. Sounds great too. And we got
Robert
Kelleher Jr. too.
Nice.
Going on,
straight from the chats. And
Robert, is this the first time we've had you on the show?
Yep, first time.
Right on. I always see you in the chat.
You were on before, right?
Oh yeah, our guy Tauren is well known around here now.
Yeah, I was on. I don't know, once or twice. I should know. Don't even drink anymore. I think it was only once.
You don't drink any less?
Maybe twice. Definitely less. But
good for you. Good for you.
Only until I can retire by the Muay Thai ringside with whales watching Thothschild fight.
They were fighting? Those two were?
No, we decided that when we retire, we're gonna have a Muay Thai ring for Thothschild to fight in. And Wales and I will just sit at the bar watching him fight. So
watch Thothschild do Muay Thai, huh? With just any comer? Is that it?
Just
come fight Thothschild. Like,
bring any hater, bring your haters here. Yeah, it'll be all
right.
Get in a ring with Thothschild.
1,000 hex on Thoth.
Like wrestling the bear, right?
You can only bet hex though.
I'll bet he looks, probably looks like a less muscular version of what's Dalsim. Is that his name from Street Fighter? Was that his name? The kickboxer?
Dude, I forgot. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, though he does. He looks. I don't know though. I think Thoth. He said he's been putting on some muscle too. So
good.
He's finally started to age. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Muscle is always a good thing to put on. Actually, muscle is really good for your longevity. I could go into all of the scientific reasons why, but I have a channel for that, so you guys can go check that out.
It's all about movement for me, especially the one-legged guy. You got to know that I'm thinking about that long term.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I made a comment the other day. I got Finn rolling. Actually, it was I don't remember what chat. Oh, must have been Thoth's channel, The Divergent. And I said, thanks for keeping me on my toes as usual, Thothschild. And I said, it's really important to me because I only got 5. So I don't know if a lot of people know that I'm an amputee, but I dressed up as RG3 for Halloween, but I outdid him. I went to the peg leg and all.
You had the real peg leg.
Real pirate.
I got it somewhere around here. Yeah, it was so fun. I did it for a contest, and I'd been threatening to do it for years to make the peg leg and go for it, and I finally got pushed into it because of this contest. So it was fun. I'm glad I did it.
Love it.
Right on. I know.
Robert.
I'm getting called out on Street Fighter. Of course I would.
Yeah.
Should have known
So
my
what's
shit before
happening,
I thought.
Robert?
Dawson.
Not too much. Can you guys hear me
Dalsim is the
okay?
Indian guy.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Not too much. I was just talking in the chat about, it's kind of getting to where we're at that lull where there's not much to talk about. And I was suggesting, why don't we talk about
We got there a long time ago, just to let you know. But yeah.
What's going on in the community? Like, what are we doing in the community? Just not Hex or Pulse Chain, but like out in the community. And I was saying that I met a gentleman out on Facebook, and I installed an 8 kilowatt system for him and a total off-grid solar setup for him. And that's what I was speaking about in there.
Nice.
Figure I just
Oh, gotcha.
I did my own too.
That kind of stuff.
Wish I hadn't yet. I wanted to go big on my solar and not like fool around or jury rig anything. And like I'm pretty happy with what I finally did, but I'm just short on batteries. I knew I would be too, like, because it's so hard if you're trying to go total off grid, because like, yeah, people think in one day, but it's like, no, you might not have sun for 3 days, depending on where you live. So you got to have all this extra capacity that you might not ever use. Bitcoin miner, or not Bitcoin miner. We need some kind of miner I can run with excess solar.
A6 miner, I think.
A6, yeah. That might be the way. That's awesome. So is that what you do then? Is that your business, or it was just something you helped a guy do?
It's just something I help. It's something that I enjoy. It's kind of like a side gig. But I've pretty much made myself a entrepreneur, trying different things out there. I do construction. I have a DJ sound company that I go out and run music for and whatnot. I don't fit into the 9 and 5 group out there, so I had to recreate myself, kind of like you guys out there. Got to do something different,
Yeah, not too many people fit in the 9 to 5 anymore. I could tell you that. I cannot freaking hire anybody to do 9 to 5 work anymore.
True that. Wow.
Yeah.
Really, you having a hard time even hiring people? RG?
Well, I mean, not anymore. I'm
for 9 to 5.
I've left as of January 1st, but yeah, before that, and I'm still consulting for them. So they called me up and they've been trying to hire some people. It's just really hard, especially in the sweat labor jobs. People don't want those anymore. And I had a young man that friends of friends and young family, the whole thing, and he needed a job. And so let's get you working over here. And man, he just was blown away by how hard it was. Like, it was just like, oh my God. And he didn't make it, he quit within a few weeks, but it was like, man, what the hell happened out here? I was like, when I got the job doing this thing, I was like, hell yeah. And go and try and climb a ladder, make some money and work some overtime. And these people these days, they're just like, no. I've got to find it off. I've got to find something easier. So,
I don't
know.
Yeah, you could be a contractor, the right kind of contractor, and get all the exercise you need and make $100,000 a year and be, not have to have a gym membership. It's like it shocks me that like people don't make a whole picture outlook, or like they got to do this over here and this over here and this over here and like and have a gym membership. How do people find time for all of it, at some point? But that's why I got out of electronics and went towards because all the jobs went overseas, and I thought, well, what's something everyone has? So I went towards home contracting instead, electricity, HVAC, plumbing, all that stuff. And as long as you don't overdo it, like you could actually, it's good for you. It's really good. That kind of it is interesting. I'm glad there's a lot of push towards the tech.
Yeah definitely. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're willing to get dirty, and you don't even have to just unclog toilets and things, but the plumbers in my area are making $500,000 a year because nobody else is doing it, and they
Nobody
are
wants to do
hard
it.
to find. So
They're killing it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If
man.
you get
If
word
you
of
can
mouth-
get a plumber, you got to pay an arm and a leg. You get one.
Yep.
Exactly.
They're like doctors, man. They're like freaking.
And it's funny
the way
because
doctors used to be.
they're getting picky. They're like, no, I'll plumb your brand new home before there's any waste that's run through it. But no, I'm busy enough doing that. I don't have to go snake your shitter. So.
Oh yeah, same with HVAC. Most guys would rather do new installs, contractors,
Uh-huh.
because they're not doing the work. They're just hiring 5 or 6 guys at 10, 12 bucks an hour, you know, and then like they pay one salesman decent and that's it. And
Government's going to have to subsidize these contractors is what's going to happen.
well, it's a new side hustle. I got onto some ad, like I was doing my, you know, outdoor, I was on the tractor or something, and so I didn't get back to turn the YouTube ad off, and it was like something about this, all the 6 side hustles or whatever, and so I ended up listening to this 20 minutes of this super long ad, and it went through all these things that people are doing now. Like if you have a little bit of money, people are starting cleaning companies, laundromats, like all this kind of work. If you can, you know, manage it, you don't have to do the work if you can, you know, find somebody to work for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
It's a whole nother
So I
kit
wanted to
itself.
comment on this one Hexy mofo. And although I agree with you, whose fault is it?
Mm.
Whose fault is it that these kids have the work ethic that they have today? Who taught them? My grandfather taught me, and my father taught me, you know, be early, stay late, don't call in sick, get your ass to work, always be working. That's the kind of shit I'm gonna get out there and do what dad and granddad did and just go do it, you know, take care of the family, man the house, make sure the kids are eating, make sure mama's happy, boom, boom, boom. You know, that's no matter how bad it was, that was what was in my mind. I got to do what they did. You know, I got to go do it. So
well, that's, I mean, you being part of the greatest generation, the silent generation, that was, you know, that's, you guys just had a work, you have a work ethic like nobody's business. So
it's just steadily gone downhill.
Well, I think that it's also that it's, look, I'll be completely honest. I don't push my kids like I was pushed. I don't say the same things to my kids that I was told. I've been trying to teach my kids how to be entrepreneurs and thinkers, and so they didn't have to do what I did, you know? So maybe that's some of the problem. And because you know, I don't want
yeah,
want them
it's
to
a
have to
tipping
struggle
point
like I
though.
did.
Like, you know, that there definitely was a tipping point there somewhere for the masses, to where, you know, from where they had, like, it was just a thing where everyone did manual labor every day, to where like there was maybe a balance at some point, but it's definitely gone, I think, off the charts. We've gotten way too comfortable, and but not everywhere. I mean, I think the United States is definitely we're a bit more spoiled than a lot of the rest of the world, but we pay for it too. I think we still work hard at the, you know, but it's changed so fast in the last few years. It's crazy.
Well, the productivity of a U.S. worker has gone through the roof over the last 50 years. Like we've just got like X's we've done as far as productivity goes, and that's what's sad, is that a lot of these people aren't getting ahead or don't have as much as other generations did, like the greatest generation and even the boomers. The boomers had it good. You know, they had it good. They had good jobs. They had good pensions. They had a lot of good things. And now production's up, but the money's just not pouring into the regular man's pockets.
Well, companies used to take care of their workers, you know, and then now they take care of shareholders. Like AT&T, I think, was like the last company in like 96 that had a private golf course for their employees. And it didn't matter if you're the damn janitor or whatever. If you're an employee, you played the golf course for free, you know. And it's interesting because some tech jobs, I guess, for the most highly recruited, I don't know, you know, Google and some of these other companies went wild with their, you know, like what they did, you know, for their workers, but that was kind of unheard of. That's the exception. But before the mid 90s, the corporate structure was totally different. Like it's really shifted. And that was right. As I was getting out of the military, that happened, a few years. I got out in like 2002, and it happened overnight with the election. It was wild. I was getting 6-7 hits a day on my resume. Then Bush came in, and all the jobs, and I was watching it. I was, somewhat forewarned. I put my resume up 6 months before I got out. And by the time I got out, I was lucky if I was getting 6 a week. All the jobs, got sucked out, and everything changed. And it was all about shareholders,
Mm-hmm.
So
that's actually their mission statement at the Death Star, is that is to bring value to the shareholder. That's their mission statement, literally.
I'll be right back.
That's what they would tell us. All right, Robert. And that's what they would tell us. Like, it doesn't matter. Customer service is our number one priority. Shareholder value is our number one priority. And they let all of us sales folks know that.
Well, it's a huge opportunity then, right? I mean, if you can provide a good service, if you really can, then you should have.
But part of the problem with that, RG, and you're right, Tauren, sorry to cut you off, man, but the problem is that the Securities and Exchange laws force the company to put the stockholder at the top over and above its employees. Because if the investor feels slighted, the person who's got money in your company feels slighted, they're the ones that have the first protections. So the company is just putting the priority where the liability is at. And you as an employee are less of a liability than the stockholder.
Yeah, but I still believe in the adage. I mean, there's a difference when it's a too big to fail company too, but I still believe in the adage that like your employee is your customer as well. Well,
I 100% agree with you, but we're talking about actual laws that literally put the liability on the company to take care of their stockholders before their employees. I agree with you. As an employer, as someone who employs people, 100% agree. I think building loyalty with your employees and taking care of them should be more important than the profit. But that's not how our securities laws work. If you're
I think it's I think if you have the right win-win, then you just succeed. You see, the better your employees, the better. I mean, I've seen it. I've worked HVAC. I've worked for independently and for lots of different companies and consulting, all kinds of different tech. And I've just seen it. Like whenever I had a boss that or a guy that I contracted with, well, actually there was an even better example. At one of the RV dealerships I worked at, there was a guy, the lead actually. And so he helped every single other tech in there. It was the largest dealership in the Northwest. We had 6, and, he worked completely independent. So he made a ton of money. Meanwhile, he still worked for the shop, but he set everything for himself. He was an independent contractor. He set his rates. He set all of it. And so it was pretty incredible but it was like going to tie this all back around. My issue is even though there's a shift to tech schools or Vogue Tech instead of college degrees, useless college degrees, it still really is about the work ethic. I think I didn't really have anything to say about that even when RG3 brought it up. It's how the hell do we solve that problem? The work ethic issue, and people don't realize how much it's about them. If they want to,
it just forces us to innovate. It forces us to get better with robotics, get better with AI, things that can still be productive when people become less productive.
There is a problem though. That the at work state, or the at work, was it at will or at work?
Mm-hmm.
How do you say that?
At will.
Yeah, at will, to where they can pretty much fire you anytime. It's knocked the wind out of a lot of people, and a lot of people just don't care anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still those people out there like us that like to work hard and make our dollars, but you can only do so much.
Well, a lot of people, they're just the NPC thing is real extreme now. People just want to either be taken care of or they don't. I think at this time, they either would rather have everything figured out for them and just, follow their little routine, or they're trying to find freedom. Like freedom's expensive, and no matter who you are, like at this point. And so yeah, it's really like and that's why I'm here and so passionate about this community. This is where I found all the people that are really taking the responsibility into their own hands and going after their freedom and freeing their mind at the same time. Like it's like the reverse. Instead of freeing your mind, freeing your money, we're freeing your money first is freeing your mind. Like I'm watching it personally, like everything changed because of Hex, like all my perspectives, like how I look at things more long term and see value differently. It's something I keep harping on lately. That was kind of the subject of my live the other day. That's the genius of Richard Hart to me, that I think, like, Sci-Vive is kind of the pair to that to the whole, that was even the intro. I think Sci-Vive almost created Hex in a way. That part of Richard, that's why I trust him so much, because like nobody else is doing that. You know what I mean? Like no one else is coming out with free self-help books and like talking the way he is. When I heard that's Pulse Chain, like I was already sold on Richard. There was a few things he said that I thought might have just been for the benefit of like the plebeian watching about government and stuff earlier on. But then when he came out with Pulse Chain and like started to go balls to the wall about the rights and what was happening to us and why we needed Pulse Chain, I was sold for, it's going to be hard to break me off the rock at this point. Like that's the thing I think people are forgetting about Pulse Chain. Like besides the gas, from the tech standpoint, we need it bad. I mean, like JP Morgan is in and all the other Google and everything else is totally intertwined with Ethereum, which is great. That's what gives me even more hope too, in the stability.
Hey, Mama
Mama
Rock,
Rock, it's been a minute. It's good to see you.
It's been a long time. Good to see you. Really good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show. Yeah, there was something in the chat I wanted to hit on real quick. It was about the AI and taking over. Look, I get it, and I've been building automation for the last 30 years, putting robots in and taking machines out and seeing the amount of employees, shrink in these plants and stuff. But there are jobs that you're never going to be able to put AI in. For instance, the plumber. You're not going to be able to put AI in the plumber. It's going to take a long time for that to happen. Not that it couldn't, not that you can make a robotic plumber that comes in and assesses your house, as long as you have a smart house that tells you where the freaking clog is and all that bullshit or whatever. But we're a long ways away from that type of automation, from getting rid of guys that throw a hammer on a nail up on a roof and, put some screws to it and put a solar panel up on your roof. It's going to take a lot of AI to get those kinds of jobs taken care of. So there's still going to be a lot of physical work out there, but yeah, people just
that's so much fun to think about. I thought about it today, like what will people 100 years from now think about us? What will they say about us in the history books this time, when crypto was still fledgling, and we're kind of Wild West still compared to how in general, compared to how
I think the people that need to worry are the programmers, the IT guys, the people sitting in offices that don't need to be in those offices. Those are the ones that AI are going to replace. AI is going to replace a lot of that stuff. Journalists, all kinds of stuff like that. So you guys think you're safe. You're probably going to end up out there with a wrench is what's going to happen, because those will be the jobs that the AI doesn't take. And you'll be needed. I mean, look, the service industry, as far as fast food and stuff, that's not going to be, the kids lost those jobs to the adults, to the boomers and everybody else who needed work. And now those people are losing it to AI. Cause they've got like a whole McDonald's you can go in and there's not even a human being in it. Right.
Yep. Oh, hell, the drive-throughs and some of them are now completely automated too.
Wow.
Yeah. pizza
Man.
delivery. I mean, there's like you go to some of the college towns. I went and took my daughter to go visit a college, and we're walking through the college, and there's a fucking a little robot cart zing zips by and it's going around everybody, and it's got pizza in it. It was a Domino's pizza freaking delivery, and it takes it to the dorm, takes it right up to it, and lets them know that people go down there, pull the pizza out, punch in their code, pull the pizza out, and boom, thing goes back and goes and gets another one.
Saw that on TV. Didn't realize it's actually in real life.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
real life. Damn thing almost ran me over. I was like, what is that? And it said, it said the pizza Domino's on it or whatever. And I was like, holy shit. Thing like that damn Star Wars thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The little toaster on wheels.
That's what it reminded me of. It's just a freaking little toaster on wheels rolling through the
That's exactly what I
square.
thought of. And then there is a TV show too, a recent one where the FBI has like an automated mail robot or something, and it's always breaking down.
Wow.
What show was that?
You watch. What you're gonna see is there's gonna be an all AI show. It's just gonna take the likes what is it, the likeliness of people. It's gonna create its own story, and it's gonna put it out there, and we're all gonna be sitting there watching AI television shows. You watch. That's the shit that's gonna start happening. We're gonna start seeing some weird shit like that.
Yeah, well, because that's the thing. When you take a chat and then make it write another one, I mean, a chat GPT. I was going to say, but have you seen the Chad GPT? Like, this is kind of what I'm talking. People are already taking them and making new ones, and so yeah, the based AI is really funny.
Well, they're telling them like they've got AI that's making programming now. Program me this. Program me that.
I've been sniping code out of the Chad GPT on Telegram, because that one's public, so that like anything you ask, everybody in there can see what you ask. So people are always asking for code in there, and so I went in there and asked, "Is Hexico real?" And it was awesome. The response it gave me. I should try and look it up. But I asked both of them. I asked the regular Chat GPT, and I asked the Chad GPT if Hexico is real. And I read the response on my stream. It was pretty. The Chad GPT was perfect. Nailed it. It was right on. It was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that Chad GPT is crazy. It's crazy.
Ask it about the Earth.
I go in there and mess with it middle of the night. I'm sitting there watching TV. Everybody's asleep. I start tapping shit in. It's like, holy crap, man! This thing is like insane. Really cool
I love
stuff.
What a hexologist is doing with it on his stream. It's so funny.
He's freaking
responding.
Yep.
Yes.
Wow.
True gem. Yeah, we're so lucky to have him. It's funny. Yeah, it's crazy how fast things are changing with it. And like now, a month ago it was out or whatever, but you didn't see it everywhere. But now, like, you can't turn around and not hear that Chat GPT. It's like everywhere.
Oh yeah, even
already.
mainstream.
Yeah. It's just, and so things could really change quick. I mean, as people really figure out, start taking it to the next level. But what's the deal with, I didn't even look at the regular one, the real like website one, that I guess it got so clogged it was almost unusable, but Microsoft bought it or something.
Yeah. I think it was, it might've been ChatGPT that it bought. It bought one of the big ones.
I think it was OpenAI, but I don't remember the name of the.
I couldn't tell you what any of them are. I wrote them down the other day. Tutorai.me, and then Futurepedia, and then ChatGPT. So I was like, wow.
Oh, that is funny.
And now you see it like on mainstream news. They're talking about these things.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the GPT, it's interesting how fast it has exploded onto media and everywhere. Makes you wonder how it got publicized. Maybe we can find a way to be able to advertise Hex and other things like that, to be able to get out and mainstream a lot faster.
Yeah,
maybe
I
help us market Hex.
Right.
Yeah, it's very curious. I've been thinking the same thing. That was on different levels, but because it feels to me like the gates to Hexico really are falling. Like we've got so many, like we're in the bottom, and there's so many streamers and content creators like killing it, like unknown people with 3 million views on TikTok, on a TikTok video. That's insane to me. I mean, and it's
Yeah,
just
they're killing it.
rolling more and more and more, and like, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I'm skeptical, like even of tremendous onboarding. Like I'd rather it just go nice and steady. Like I slowly filter. I don't want a whole bunch of goons showing up all at once. Personally, that's just me though. But who knows? I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
what happened when we started this thing. It's just a bunch of goons showed up. So don't think so highly of yourself. You were one of the original goons.
That's
that showed up,
that's what I
so.
mean. I don't know if 100 more of me show up, even it might be trouble.
So yeah. So what makes any difference with the new people
Ooh.
showing up now versus who all of us were, right?
No, I know how dangerous I can be. My mind. I know enough to be dangerous, not enough to be expert. That's for sure. Man, look at this chat. Love it. These guys are awesome. Goon alert. Dorsey's, man, he's my own personal troll lately, that guy. Oh, that's funny.
Dorsey's my personal troll.
Okay, yeah, you keep him. I don't need it.
Well, I think that what we should all be looking at versus what we are, like everybody's freaking out about AI. Everybody's freaking out about this stuff and what to do and what to do. Well, what we should be doing is looking at how to move it into the future. Look at the solutions that it creates. Look at the good that it does. And go and try and create that. Focus on the good. Focus on the creation. Focus on what is right about it, and that's the direction we'll take it. Versus you start focusing on all the bad shit and what this could do, and guess what? People are going to go out there and do that shit. That's what they're going to do. It's human nature. It's like looking at that rock that you're going to go run into and supposed to look away
That's
from.
why
it.
I call Brandon Riches, not Rags. Everyone calls him Rags. I'm like, what you trying to do to that poor guy? So I call him Riches all the time. But it's RH. Another reprogramming RH has done on me already is don't focus on the suck. You focus on the suck, you get suck.
Yep. Don't focus on the suck.
Simple. Be happy.
It's a very simple concept, but it's very hard for people to do. It's very hard.
Oh yeah.
Especially when something new comes out like this, and it's a wow factor. People just like
it's a shiny suck.
Yes, shiny suck. So they can freak out about it and complain and cry and yell conspiracy theories and all that crap. They love that. People love drama. They love the drama.
Isn't that so bad?
What's that, Robert?
They're excited about the drama because it's exciting. The boring stuff is not exciting. So it's like, why do we want to pay attention?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty happy with our boring crypto space right now. Really, I really am glad that it's going the way it's going, to be honest. It looks like we got a bottom settling in here, and it seems like no matter what bad news comes out, it doesn't dip anything. Everything's just kind of like floating where it's at. No what FUD could come now? I mean, everything has been destroyed, right? Everybody's been destroyed. Everybody is scammed out. Everybody's robbed everybody's money. I mean, what's left but like serious old hodlers and hexicans and those that are waiting for their crypto to go back up so that they're not completely wrecked. I mean, man, what's left? What FUD is left?
Oh, just the off the wall FUD, and that's, I've seen some of that here and there, and that's just like so ridiculous. Like, yeah, I agree. I don't know what else. And then I say that, who knows what we could see, but out of the news. But the Founders and
Nailed
holders.
it. Nailed
know
it,
what?
Biff. That's it.
Yeah, outro. We're boring. Am I boring, Hexy? I'm sorry. I need
Outro. What is she telling me? You want a timeout, young lady? Knock it off.
My ass actually is getting up tomorrow when I went to bed this morning. So I'm going duck hunting in the morning one more time this season.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was threatening if I, yeah. It was slow. I didn't go near enough this year because I've been caught up too much in Hexico, but I don't regret it at all.
Yeah. I got stood up at the range today. Like now I've got like today, I'm trying to find things to do. So it's like today was supposed to be range day, and I got a buddy who's a cop and another buddy that trains police and police dogs and stuff. And so we're supposed to go meet at the range. So I go down there and nobody's there. I'm sitting at the shotgun where the skeet range, and I'm calling them all up, and they hear it in the background. They're like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, "What do you mean, where am I at? You can't fucking hear what's going on out there. You guys are supposed to be here." So I got stood up, and they don't let you rent range space on your own. You can't go there by yourself.
What?
You have to. Yeah.
Well, is there nobody?
They're afraid that, I don't know what it is, but I think they're afraid that somebody's going to go off themselves if they're alone.
That's not a bad idea at all. The buddy system works on so many things. Like if you actually have it, but
I think it's weird. When I first heard it, I thought it was kind of a weird thing but yeah, you can't. They don't let you go in there on your own. You have to be with another shooter.
I haven't wanted to shoot because it's so expensive. Like I want to put my money in Hex, not buy more bullets at these prices, and so I got red dot sights on everything now just because of it, because my I was shooting so much less that my group size is doubled. I went from golf balls to tennis balls at 15 yards. I was like, that's no good. And I couldn't figure it out, just regularly dry firing. And then I got a cheap red dot, and I saw this tiny little micro flinch right at the end of my trigger pull, and I was like, I'll be damned. And I could see it with the red dot, like clear.
You want to know what really works on that? And I don't rep for this company, but I'm going to name it anyway. Mantis. So what this is, I don't know if you've heard of it, but what this thing is badass. This is really badass.
I need.
So this little deal here, it just slides onto your rail, and you just dry fire, and the app on your phone. Now it doesn't just mark so you have to have special targets that you put on the wall, and the laser hits it, because you drop a little laser down in the barrel.
I had the little target like in the laser you put in the barrel, but the cheap version, and
that's just the dry fire.
Not like not like that. I want this.
This thing monitors each shot, trigger pull, what you're doing with your grip, whether you're too tight, too little trigger finger, too much trigger finger, whole thing, man. Wow. And you could sit there and just do it for hours and hours and hours, and dial yourself in for free without spending all that money on you just can't get enough range time. This thing is worth its weight in gold. I think they're like $400 or $500, and then they've got all kinds of different rails for long guns and everything else in it. So freaking love this thing.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a whole kit you can use on everything, right?
Yeah. You have to buy the separate lasers, and they only make a certain amount of. I think they go 380, 9mm, or 45. They don't have 40 in it yet. And then you got 223, 7.62, 30-06, and I think they have shotgun ones too.
Yeah, I'm one of those odd guys that loves the 40, but considering 9mm like plus P is the same price as 40, in SD rounds, it's like they're close enough. I still think a regular 40 round is better than a 9mm plus P personally. Like I've lived out in the country a long time and shot a lot of stuff with 940 and 45, and yeah, I'd take the 40 hands down every day over the 9. But and I carried a
Yeah. That's why I got I like the 40. I just, if well, is this a show about guns? No, it wasn't supposed to be a show about guns. It's a show about anything. We just happen to get on the subject of it a little bit. But being in the military, I always liked firing a 45 and having a 45 sidearm. But they're a little heavy to be carrying around, and 1911 is a heavy pistol to be rolling around in your waistline. So, but I got that 40. And it's still a little bulky itself, but it's a lot lighter than a 45. And I like that round. I like that round.
I absolutely love the 1911 too. That's my when I make some time, I'm gonna build my own M40, a 1911 M40. But yeah, I stick to kind of like what I was trained on. I carried 9s though in the military. But
they were switching over.
Right, they switched to the SIG. My favorite, actually, the 229. Right after I left, I was so pissed. I got a rattly old M9, and they went to and I could have swapped out. Actually, I could have made mine 40. I would have had to, for boardings, but it was a similar deal to like where some agencies you get to carry your own weapon. They won't give you a 40 or give you a SIG or whatever, depending. But yeah, I was pissed. It was my M9. It was okay, but yeah, I love the 40. But so I have a 229 and 40. That's one of my. But it isn't cut for a rail, so I just went to the 9 with plus P. It'll.
Yeah. Well, everything now is pretty much you can get with or without rails.
The red dot rail the red dot cut is really hard to find. Like to find a 1911, like if I found a 1911 and 40 with the red dot cut that I could afford, I'd trade something in a heartbeat. I wouldn't sell. I would. I'm trying to shovel all my extra money towards Hex, so guns and ammo are on the down for a while.
Yeah. I'm going to the bulk bin myself and buying when I do get ammunition.
It's gonna be 3 cents. We're not going to see 2 cents. Well, who knows? I'm not going to make price predictions ever. If I do, Dorsey, you get the first punch.
Throw your hands up in the air and whatever lands.
Yeah, I'm trying to focus on cycles more than, I like what Wales said a lot earlier, though. Wales, I try and just defer to Wales. T-Bird's dad. Hexy. She caught that. Man.
Well, gentlemen, I appreciate you having me in for the night. I've actually got to go. You guys have an amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Get the face.
Thanks for dropping by. Good to see your face, man.
ANTX. See you guys later.
See ya.
Good night, brother. I'm surprised it's so quiet tonight. Just the two of us. I don't know where Ken snuck off to.
Yeah, he's there. He's probably just on the phone doing other stuff.
No, my camera. I'm using. So I have 2 high def cameras, and the one I've been trying to use more. It's my higher end, my Sony ZV-E10 or whatever it is. It's I think it's overheating because it keeps shutting down, and I was trying to resolve that.
Did you try and yeah? You know what? I ended up having to actually put a fan behind my camera.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've got a little fan that's behind it because no matter what heat settings I set up, it would still cut out. It still just would cut out. So I don't know what it is. Even pulled the screen away from because they say sometimes the screen overheats and heats up the camera. Pulled the screen away, but still nothing. So I had to put a fan. So I got this auto fan on there.
Yeah, mine looks like it's got Vaseline all over the screen. It's just I live out far enough. We don't have cable. We can't even get everything where I'm at is RF based only, cell phone tech only. I'm gonna snoozy. I'm gonna see what I can do though to get my signal bumped up. I can stream from town. I'm planning on doing some streams from town that are more serious with. I really want to use OBS, but I can't even use OBS with the connection I've got out here. It's just too much bandwidth. So StreamYard's working, but my quality is pretty lacking.
Yeah, you can never get good quality on it. I mean, I even run through OBS and back into StreamYard as a webcam, and that gets a little better quality. But I saw that. I think they've got us in 1080p now, right? Don't they, Kinetics?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if it actually comes across that way on YouTube, but I think the replays do, but I don't think live stream it is.
It's at 720.
It's 720. Yeah, it's 720.
Yeah, it's interesting how that I OBS definitely I get better video quality out of OBS than I do out of StreamYard. But it's just too wide for my connection. So I'm gonna have to definitely get something better. I think I can. I think I have other options, especially now. I might even look at Starlink. I think it's. So you have cable or where you're at, Kinetics? You have a hard wire, or do you?
Yeah. I mean, we don't have. I had fiber at my office, and I wish I had kept the office just so I could turn it into a studio. Quite honestly, because it was so quick, so many gigs that it just never had a problem. But where I'm at now, I mean, I still have 300 megs, but it's just not where I'd like it to be. I live in a rural area though, so I just not expecting anything special for a while, but it's okay.
I turned down my Starlink. I had Starlink. I paid for them to get first movers advantage on it or whatever. And when it came out, it came my turn. I was like, I don't need it. I don't want it.
It's too slow for me. It's a third.
It wasn't going to be fast
that I'm getting with this. Yeah,
and I don't need mobile. I don't need it to travel around with or anything. So it's like, why would I pay all that and pay monthly for it? And I was like, forget it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had them sending me a box, and then I realized, they only get 100 megs, and then I can get 300 with my service. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna stick with what I got.
Well, my issue is throttling. I'm hoping I can just pay for like all the time high speed, because like this is what my background was. It was what I did in the military. Is what I did when I got out was RF multiplexing, cell phone tech, satellites, crypto, all of that. So like the best job offer I got actually was with the cell phone company. It was huge money, but they wanted me to sign a 6-year contract to stay in the Northeast. And I was like, hey, I got to get out of here. But so I watch all this and I can see exactly what's going on. And I like when the throttling, and it was net neutrality that screwed us on that. Oh, we're going to help you out, and all the big guys won't be able to take advantage of the internet anymore. There'll be some left for you guys finally.
The naming conventions of bills are the exact opposite of the actual result.
100%.
Every time. Anyone remember the Affordable Care Act? So yeah, the naming conventions of these laws and these bills are ridiculous because they literally do the opposite of what the name sounds like it does for you.
Yep, that's how and they sold it to us like it was supposed to help the average consumer, and it did the exact opposite. So now we all pay for high speed unlimited internet, and we only get high speed.
That's because
for a fraction of the time.
That's because of the people voting for it aren't the one that paid for it. That paid to have the bill sponsored. So
Yeah, and there is a device apparently. It was so I didn't it was one of those nights I was up hours past when I should have been, and was crawling into bed and still wanted to try and catch a few minutes of some video, and a YouTube ad came on first. And so I wasn't prepared for it to actually like normally like there's 1 in 100 YouTube ads interest me, of course, so I didn't expect it to be anything. I didn't screenshot it. I was so tired. I thought I did, but I didn't. And it's this device that you plug in to a wall, and it supposedly bypasses all the throttling of your router or whatever device you connect it to, so that it blocks the amount of data, the data count from actually going to your service provider. So they don't know how much data you're actually using. And so that way they don't throttle you. If they think like, I always get really high, great high speed internet for the first 2 days of every month. And then I hit my data cap of high speed and it slows, and they give me the slow speed. And they tell you, all of them will tell you right when you get it, if you ask. And it's just retarded. Like, I mean, there's no way around it. If you're not live streaming, it's not much of an issue. Like, because of buffering, because of the way everything is done, the multiplexing is so good now. They can put so much data on top of one signal, but it's all in bursts. It works. Most everything you won't notice the throttling for the most part. But when you're trying to live stream, forget it. It's just not going to work. So,
well,
would you like to come in, Duraj, and help us?
Yeah, we needed Indian tech support, but you're a little slow to get on the stream with us, so we had to fill in while we were waiting.
Can you come in here and ask us if we've unplugged our router, please?
Have you tried turning it off and then back on?
Oh, and crock pot food. I want crock pot food too. Like, maybe a crock pot food.
I just want some food. I'm on my deficit right now.
Are you?
1,700 calories a day. Oh,
you look
that's
good.
harsh.
You look real good.
Thank you. I'm just starting. I just gained weight, so now I'm starting to lose it again. I was shot back up to the 190, and but I'm not 218 anymore. I was 218 when we first started this journey, and then all the way down to 177, and then now we're back up at 190, and now
Hex Iron
going back.
Starting to.
She's looking great. She's doing she's
doing another challenge. I want to get in on it, like, just to force myself to do something consistent. Like, I want to just do a body weight workout every day, like, consistently. I'm hoping I love how much Bitfinesse is tearing it up with the.
So let me tell you what it looks like. So literally, it's wake up in the morning, and it's a half a cup of oatmeal. Well, it's a quarter dry, but ends up being a half a cup of oatmeal. A half a banana, like, actually not even half a banana, 50 grams of a banana, which is like about a third of a banana. And then a dry English muffin. Now, I added butter this morning, but now my calories for my dinner have been chopped into a little bit too much. So now I'm kind of pumping on dinner. But lunch was literally a quick release protein, 2 of them mixed together. It's about a couple hundred calories worth of protein powder. And that was lunch with a rice cake. And then dinner was literally 125 grams of chicken, about 100 grams of tri-tip, and about 100 grams of veggies, broccoli and asparagus. And now for the grand finale, I will get to have a 70 calorie, low carb, low fat, low sugar peanut butter cup and a cup of tea, and that'll be the end of my evening. Oh
man.
And that's going to be
I don't look forward to being 70 years old. That's all I have to say.
All right, we got
what is going on tonight with this guy?
He's timing himself out. The 3-second timeout.
I'm glad I don't have to do all that work to look this good.
I love how much Hexicans are killing it.
I can't wait till you're 55.
I actually need to eat more right now. My appetite. I've been working through meals, and I haven't been paying attention to, especially my protein intake as much lately. But the good news is I'm hovering between 8 and 10% body fat, so got that going for me.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's real good. That's not easy, folks. Like 8 to 10% body fat just does not happen. Like, that's not average normal people do that shit.
I worked hard my whole life, honestly, to stay there, and especially since my amputation, like the last 12 years, because my leg, my prosthetic, the way it fits, like if I gain 2 pounds, it's killing me. Or if I lose 2 pounds, then it's falling off. It fell off of me.
Oh yeah.
I was climbing out of
So-
a tree stand 16 feet off the ground, and that bastard fell off on me. It was like my worst nightmare. I knew it would happen one day. It wasn't near as bad as I thought, but it was, luckily it wasn't too cold.
Yeah.
So how much weight? Now, I don't know if this is a question you ask an amputee, but how much weight
Anything.
did you change when you lost your leg?
Wow, that is a good question. I've wondered about that because I think my prosthetic right now is right within a pound or two of what, with it on, I think it would be about the same as where I was, and that's like usually right at 166, 167, and I was at like 175, 172 usually before. So I definitely dropped a few pounds, but that's with it on. With it off, yeah, it's a pretty drastic. You ever fall asleep on your arm and then roll over and smack yourself in the chest with your arm? Like it's incredible. Well, you don't think about how much your forearm or just this part of you weighs until it's dead and it smacks you in the face, in the middle of the night. And it's the funny thing about it is I didn't think to keep it. And people are like, "Oh, didn't you keep that?" And I'm like, "What the hell would I keep that for? Why would I?" And then somebody smart came along and was like, "Well, you really want science to have it?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, I should have buried that fucker." I don't know why I left that for the freaking science goons to play with.
So they give you an option when they did that, what to do with.
Yeah, except I wasn't awake enough to make the decision, so I really didn't even make it. But only a Marine would ask that. Now there was something else. I mean, it's like your placenta or what. I mean, if it's your body, they have to give you your shit. I imagine.
Heck yeah.
I don't know. Who knows these days? I mean, they've flipped everything upside down, and people are just like, "Okay, I guess so."
Like that would be taxidermy that fucker, put it up on your wall.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well,
my fucking leg, man. What do you think?
Yeah.
See here.
Then I would have been fucking. Yeah, I was too much of a. Yeah, back then it would have definitely freaked me out, but nowadays I think I could have done something cool with that. I think if nothing else, I could have
put it up there like
Johnny
kicking a
Chaos.
soccer ball, like
Yeah. It's exactly. Bit's all over that one. Like more than anybody I know, I swear. Bit Finesse, he understands that body property rights thing. He brings it up more than anyone I know. Our bodies are, it's our property.
Yeah. Second pin. Knipples.
Yeah, I know. I saw the comment.
I'm trying to break UFO to go's record. I think we got 2 more to go.
I'm on my third actually, so just want to clarify.
Let's see if I'm gonna try that.
Oh my god. This is in such bad taste and so funny all at the same time.
There you go. You could have made a leg
like,
lamp out of it. That
exactly.
would have been the thing, right? Put it out every Christmas up on the thing, and
it's been 12 years. Like I've heard everything. Like it doesn't. Most of the time, I forget I'm an amputee anymore. Really, honestly.
Yeah,
Only once did I get out of bed thinking like I still had a leg there and fell flat on my face. Like even though I don't think about it, somehow I still managed to not like fall on my ass all the time. But especially since I
now,
stopped
how
drinking.
in the fuck did you get out of a 16-foot high tree with your leg laying down on the ground?
Well, I'm actually, sometime I'm going to do a tour of the house. I built most of the house, did all the plumbing, electrical, HVAC, septic, you name it, 9 yards. And I grew up as a backpacker, like a real deal backpacker. And I've always been 100% overactive and lots of car wrecks, like you name it. Extremity is kind of my thing. So I'm used to climbing ladders. Like I put up a chandelier in the house on a 16-foot ceiling the other day. No leg on. Did it just I just stump it up there, put my stump on the rung, and then up another one. And that was a little particularly hard though, getting out with that leg hanging off. I honestly don't even remember how I got down. Like I was halfway down when it fell off, so I only had I think I probably managed to squeak down a few more and then just jumped, because I jumped a lot just and land only on my right leg. And I love you, Sandy Beach. Don't worry. Thos has run me through the ringer so much, like it's gonna be pretty hard for most Hexicans to get under my skin at this point. He's made sure I'm ready to handle some shit.
Yeah, it's I tell everybody in this community, like, look, I've been called a lot worse shit by much better people. So don't think that you guys got anything to say to me that really hurts my feels.
Dude, I never even touched the opiates. And I didn't have I had a problem with alcohol in my life. Like, I won't deny that, but opiates always made me feel like such trash. I just never had an effect on me like that, luckily. So and you know what, actually, I had to take it, of course, like while I was in the hospital. Like, I had, my favorite was actually the morphine drip.
Oh.
Yeah, and but that, man, I had the worst experience with opiates. Like, I was like, never again. Like, I've always prided myself on trying to stay somewhat fit and being able to do everything normal, like go to the bathroom. And when I got that hard lock from all the opiates, and like it was just killing me, and like they tried everything they could do, you know, giving me the softeners and everything, you know, all these different medicines, and it was like no going, like 3 days. And I was just like, and they told me, it's like, oh yeah, the opiates will have that effect on you. I was like, oh no, not cool. And then finally I just did an enema and it worked. Just gone. No problem. I was like, fuck you guys.
Those usually do.
Yeah.
Go get you
so many
a
bad
high colonic
hospital experiences. Yeah, it works, man. It's just like getting your plumbing cleaned.
Huh.
You know.
Never would have thought about that. Guess I've never looked into something like that.
A high colonic? You should. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's
make you less full of shit.
That is a guarantee. That was my...
there we go. Back to you again. Outro.
I was injured out in the field one time, and they had to give me morphine, and man, I instantly was just dead sick, puking. Like,
it makes me sick to my stomach, makes me want to throw up, makes me nauseous.
Yep, that's what did to me.
But
I
love me some ketamine. I did love me some Special K.
That was Special K.
That was my rave drug of the day. Back in the day.
Man. I missed all that stuff. I missed all the good designer stuff that you guys got. I mean, we did have some probably better. What did we have?
It was good. I'll tell you that. He doesn't remember. It was definitely good.
Yeah. No, the rave drugs back then. Well, raves were just starting back then, but yeah, they weren't doing all the really cool stuff that they have today. That's for sure.
The designer drugs weren't quite as designed yet.
They weren't designer yet.
Yeah, well, they had LSD. That'll do. I would actually, I think I did ecstasy like 5 or 6 times. And most times was like at a rave or club scene. Yeah. And
that's all they had back then was ecstasy. I can't remember anything.
I wish I never had. That was the one I wish I never ever touched, even though it was like 5 or 6 times. It put a hole in me. Like, I felt it after the second or third time. I felt like I crossed the line, like that I wouldn't be able to uncross. It was just I don't know, anything that
you almost need to go do a clinical sit down psychotherapy with it and have someone actually guide you through the experience. And
Yeah, yeah,
MDMA, it's an
straw.
empath drug, so it'll actually they'll teach
I
you,
loved
they'll
it.
guide you through it the correct way, and
Well, that was the
it'll
thing. It was so good. It was like a
yeah.
depression thing. It was like, man, this is so perfect. I want to
Life
be
will
here
never
all the
be
time,
this good again.
Yeah, exactly.
Something
Yeah.
you got to have somebody like walk you through is probably not a good idea to be
No,
taking.
it's a psychotherapy now that they're using. They're using
Never heard of
K,
that.
special K. They're using MDMA. They're using psilocybin,
Psilocybin.
and it's really amazing some of the hurts and traumas that they're helping people get over,
Well,
especially
and
people in the
shamans-
military that get over it or that have PTSD.
Yeah, the
They're
PTSD
really
I
helping
heard
these
it's
guys
working
out right now.
with the MDMA and
Mhm.
EMA stuff.
I actually really followed the shaman's path for quite a while, and shaman have been healing with especially plant-based herbs for ever in my mind. Like forever. When we were foraging, we'd stuff stuff in our mouth to find out what the heck it was. We knew about all this stuff for a long time, and the right people were able to. I don't know. Never lived in a tribe with Toby one, but anyway,
What's up, fellas?
when you take all that stuff in the right context with the right respect and intention, it's a whole nother world.
Yeah, definitely. It's like peyote culture is that way. There's a lot more to it than just the Hollywood response is smoking peyote and sitting up on top of a hilltop, and that's not how it's done at all.
Mhm.
It's a whole ceremony of respect that lasts, like it takes a week for them to prepare for the ceremony. It's just the way they do it is just a lot different than it's depicted. It's not like a casual, hey, let's go slam some freaking peyote and head out and go pick up on some chicks. It isn't like that.
No.
It's
Nothing
Have you
like
read
that.
a whole different experience.
Don Juan, a Yaqui Way of Knowledge by Carlos Castaneda?
Yeah.
Castaneda.
That's,
Love that.
yeah,
He's a
I
fraud,
really read
but
that.
it was an interesting story. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's everything's a story to me if I didn't live it. You know what I mean? Like I just take everything with a relative perspective, I guess. But yeah, I love that.
He's calling out Toby. The bachelor's over, huh? Your show's over.
I got roped in. My fiance wanted to watch it, and I'm like, all right, let's see. What this is. So, yeah, it was rough, dude. That show is like, oh my god, it's just the worst of humanity.
Hey, no shame, bro. No shame. You
It's
get,
all
you
right.
get
Worse
it.
than
You like,
Twitter?
You like it. It's all good.
Well, yeah.
Hey, there's some.
it's
I
like-
creep and
Twitter's
crawl in
pretty
some
bad.
dark alleys that I won't talk about. So you can keep it to yourself if you want.
I mean, if that's
Oh, I don't want everybody to know my dirty laundry. Shit, man. I
I
hate
just want to get
talking.
back to the shaman talk. It's like that's. Has anybody done ayahuasca? That's on here.
I
No,
have not, but I would want it under a strict therapeutic circumstance. I'm done with anything that is mind altering unless it's like done with a professional to help with hurts, traumas, and hang ups. So
Yep. Yeah, it's funny because it's like I had some good buddies that were like deadheads or whatever, and and that was back in the day when I would dabble with some psychedelics myself, and it was funny because it's like
Don't
I
you
felt
dare
like,
put that. Oh,
that's my boy.
timeout material.
That's my boy Chad. That's my son out there. Son, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here.
That's timeout material right there.
Oh, yeah, you got whacked, bro. But yeah, it's like it was funny because I was like they treated it like a party drug. It's like it's kind of like what you were saying a second ago, Archie.
Wow.
Like it's like partying and chasing chicks and stuff. It's like I couldn't imagine because like every time I've ever done any kind of psychedelic, it's always immediately gone spiritual for me. Of course, you'll have your giggle fits and some other stuff that is just kind of fun or the visuals or whatever. But at its core, it's like it's always been a very spiritual experience. So it's always been in the back of my mind, like if I could handle it, I think it would be interested to have like a guided ayahuasca trip.
Yeah.
But then, of course, I think of
100%.
what is it, Young Guns? It's like
I just want everybody out there to understand something too. So
Yeah.
all of you guys tripping on ayahuasca and going out and like visiting the natives and shit, I want you to understand how they really feel about y'all.
Oh,
They're
right.
laughing their
I can
fucking
imagine.
asses off first, and they're like,
Taking that money.
you think that they're like, okay, these are the people that have fucked us up for eons. Let's just start letting their kids in here, and we're gonna start just doing like our real ritualistic shaman shit to them. Like we're
Right.
just gonna give it to them. Like, I'm sorry guys, but these folks are fucking pulling some shit over on you guys.
I would not doubt that. I could totally see that.
That's why I don't go to the natives to learn the rituals.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. My
Telling
mentor.
you, they ain't gonna.
Yeah, it would feel disrespectful to me to do it that way. It's like I don't know.
I agree.
Kind of more along
I
the
did
lines of
it.
what
See, like
Connecticut,
when I lived in Hawaii, I lived in Hawaii 5 years, and yeah.
And
we
a
used
good dream
kava.
catcher.
Yeah, see,
Good dream
kava.
catcher.
Jonesy already knows where I'm going with this one.
A
Yeah.
drum circle and a dream catcher, or maybe a plastic lined freaking sweat lodge that might work out for you.
Yeah, done the sweat lodges too, but
sweat lodges are amazing. I've done that a couple times. Lakota.
yeah.
Yeah.
We came up against the like cultural appropriation idea a little bit in Hawaii when I lived there. But it was different because everybody in the community, knew what we were doing and knew like the respect that we were bringing with it. And my fiance at the time grew up there, and even though she was a white haole girl, like she knew like she was a local, because she grew up there, and she was, it didn't matter the color of her skin or whatever, she was a local. So, and she grew up on kava. And so we eventually opened a kava bar, and we did the whole 9 yards of the ceremony with the bowl. And that was really the only way. I mean, to us, that's just the way it was. Like, that's how you had it. You could buy frozen stuff, and put it in a blender and, whatever, do the, I guess the way most people would. But for us, it just didn't, like, it was just the easy and simple way too, to do it in the big bowl and that way. And everything. And then I had a mentor there, a shaman mentor, who wasn't we never even did anything together. We never took any drugs or anything together. He had solstice and equinox gatherings all the time, the 4 of them every year. And he's really well known too. He was a colonel in the army, and the Men Who Stare at Goats, the movie, was based on him. His name is Colonel Jim Shannon. And so he taught, so that he got into everything in the army with LSD, and it took him down this whole path of what the movie was about, actually being able to unlock your mind enough to be able to kill something just by looking at it. And they actually did it. And that was my mentor in Hawaii. And that's kind of like, I don't know how it is, how I would even go and search for another mentor at this point. But like, I think, when you have a personal connection with somebody, it's totally different. That's what or at least a canary. You go see if this guy's all right first. If you come back okay, then I'll try it. But there are a lot of clinical stuff opening up. I didn't know that there were actually clinics doing ayahuasca. I knew the psilocybin and everything.
I got a buddy that's what he does. He helps people recover from alcohol and drug addiction through drugs.
Well,
I didn't get it, to be honest, but he's got a great business, and I guess he helps a lot of people. So more power to him.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I come from that background too, in a way. Like, but then it goes wonky and hypocritical. Like, my dad is a drug and alcohol addiction. He did drug and alcohol addiction treatment research for the University of Colorado for 20 years, and then he has the nerve to tell me that pot is cheating, but he can take. Ross,
the stream has bottomed. We have bottomed.
What, drugs and guns aren't fun enough for you?
Drugs and guns.
What else can we do? Can't take off your shirt.
Yeah,
Just your
From my understanding, the way the chat reacts, there's only one person in the chat that wants to see that. So.
Dorsey and who else?
Drugs and 12-year-old
Dorsey's it. Dorsey's the one.
Or Dorsey.
Oh, what poor Dorsey! You should see all the trolling he does on my ass. Oh my god!
Dude, tell me about
He
it.
comes
It's
to my
like
own stream, trolling me there too.
I've had Ross harassing me for 3 years, but so
Ross comes hard at you.
Ross comes hard. Ross is my personal troll. I love Ross though, man. It's like we come full circle, you know. Worked it out with his mom, you know. Make him lunch every once in a while. Pat him on the head. He's a good kid.
I don't see you up here entertaining
Two
us.
timeouts for that.
Yeah, right. Ross is great, man. I've been trying to get Ross is funny as fuck. I've been trying to get him to come on stream forever, but it's like I don't know why he won't do it. And I think his avatar is actually him. So it's like, what the fuck, Ross? Come on.
Some people are just better in chat than they are live streaming.
Yeah. Whatever happened to Children of the Grave, man? He used to come up with some hilarious shit. And
Yeah, he's been on hiatus or something.
He's in Hex Beats on Telegram.
Is he?
Yeah. Just not very much, but he just told Mac that he was taking a step back a little bit, doing more personal time with books and stuff like that.
He calls me about once a month.
Yeah, he's
a phone call from him. He lives out here.
Huh.
But yeah, one of the other drugs I'd heard about, there's a documentary I saw about it, and it was for treating drug addiction. I think it's called Ibogaine, and I believe it's from Africa, and it's pretty brutal. Like, I mean, these people are like puking in pails and really rough, but it's like, I mean,
all good highs start with a good puke. Let me just tell you, all good highs.
My best mushroom trips are with a good puke.
Have a good puke, and then it's on. Like, anyway,
especially if you make.
Sometimes you puke before you do it. Like, it's like so strong and powerful that it's like, oh god, I'm gonna puke.
No comment.
Yeah, but the Ibogaine thing, it's like, it was crazy, the success rate, because I had a friend of mine that passed away actually from heroin addiction, a couple actually, but one in particular, and we had looked into that briefly, and the success rate was remarkable, but it just, timing didn't work out for that one, but the documentary was really compelling to see how quickly it just seemed to rewire that part of people's brains, and to be able to get off of some of those the major ones, it's pretty remarkable.
Shit, back in the day, here we go. I'm gonna get some comments now. I'm hitting the damn timeout button. It used to be all they had was freaking, what was that shit? Antabuse. Like they made you take this shit so that you'd get sick when you drank.
Oh,
that was
right.
Yeah. That was it. It's called Antabuse. Like, you took this pill, they made you take the pill every day, and if you drank, you got violently ill. And that was the deterrent that they had. That's what they used in the military. Like, you put people on Antabuse.
Yeah, my dad told me about stories with that shit, because with the research that he did, they took he actually went and get kids, because he ran the adolescent division, so like from 13 on up, he'd pull them, most of them right out of jail, and most of them still high, and then go and put them in his program, and like crazy stories he had from that stuff. But the other one, kava, actually will work that way. If you want something decent, and also like you're really trying hard not to drink some kava first, then you'll feel pretty good. And then if it doesn't work good enough for you and you try and drink some alcohol, you'll get sick. They do not mix kava and alcohol.
So kava, what's that like?
It's got 2 active kava lactones in it. It's called. It's actually similar like to cannabinoids in a way. It's like one is a mental and one is a physical, and so depending on the breed or the species of the kava plant you get, some are higher on the mental kava lactones and some are more on the higher in the body ones, and so people make hybrids just like they do with pot. Like with kava. So it's and then you can get extract in it. It's actually like the body part is so good that like when you it numbs your mouth. You get this like numb and also kind of little tingly feeling like almost immediately, like within 30 seconds you start to notice the numbing. So it's like it's good for it's just good. I don't know how to describe it. Like you don't
It's
I
good.
thought it was for anxiety. Like that's what I remember reading something about it being good for anxiety.
yeah, it makes you feel
Okay.
good. It's called
Similar
the
to
truth serum.
kratom.
It really does. Like if you drink enough kava, usually it was about 5 cups coconut shells for me, like a regular like hand size, not a big coconut shell, like about 5 of those, and like everybody's just speaking truth. It's crazy. Like that's what actually the Polynesians would do. That like they wouldn't have a meeting with somebody until they drank a certain amount of kava, because then they would know. They would like, I don't really even want to describe it much more than that. It's just, and it's easy to get a hold of. Like we were shipping frozen kava all over the world from that farm.
Huh.
Because
So is
after
it
we
like-
broke up, the girl and I went and ran the farm that we got it from, and because that's where I knew to find girls, and because it was a wolf organic farm where it was all volunteers for the most part. There was always like 12 to 20 college kids there getting college credit to be in Hawaii on this farm, and yeah, it was a blast. So
it's like kratom.
I don't know. I haven't done kratom, whatever. I don't I've
Now,
heard,
somebody gave that to me. I had back problems, and my back was out, and I took
Yes,
that kratom.
you did.
He was
And
dancing like a 20-year-old.
I was fucking dancing on a coffin. I was so fucking felt so good.
wow.
I mean,
I had no
it
idea.
didn't get me high. I didn't feel anything like that. You know, I didn't feel bloated.
Right.
I didn't feel high. But I tell you what, the pain went away. Pain went away. And then after it wore off, I was slumped back over, and
Right.
oh, what a plane ride that was. Oh.
Yeah, I have to be
Yeah, it's
careful.
brutal.
Like I hurt myself all the time when I'm like after having taken too much Advil. Like I should get back on kava. But it's another one of those things. Unless I could get real fresh frozen kava, I'm not into it. So I don't. Instead I just take Advil, and like I fuck myself up all the time. Like I feel fine, and then like overdo it, and God, I'm getting old.
No doubt, dude. I can relate to that.
It's again, just pay more attention, move more mindful.
So what is it? Is it a root that they have out in Hawaii? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's all over. Polynesia is where it's like popular, but you can get it in California. There's kava bars in California. At least
Shit.
there used to be last time I looked. But and ideally you want it fresh frozen, because you can't get it fresh unless you find a grower. I'm sure there's probably somebody growing it in the States. It's not hard to grow, but yeah, you take the root and then grind it up into just it'll come ground or whatever into fibers. It's a kind of interesting texture, but you just mix it with water. That's it. Like one drink. It's
Wow. Who would have
Super.
thought? Who would have thought we'd be talking about kava on this show?
You guys want to know a drug I'm getting high on lately? I mean, high on. And I don't know why it does this to me, but
God.
I'm chewing Nicorette gum because nicotine. You want to know the funny thing? You want to know the funny thing? Do you want to know the real medicinal use behind it? Like he's laughing, but that just shows his
Anti-parasitic.
ignorance. Like
Right here,
there's
man.
some legitimate reasons why. So
Shedding
It's,
protection.
the problem with nicotine is that the delivery systems will kill you. They'll give you cancer if you chew them, if you smoke them. But nicotine is actually a neural hardening drug that protects you against dementia and Alzheimer's long term. Not only that, it actually increases memory retention and your thought processes. So some of the smartest professors in the world have been known to smoke cigarette after cigarette after cigarette, and the smart ones that decided not to take carcinogenics, yes,
Right.
decided that this is the way to go. And so I started, after listening to a Huberman Labs one time, I was like, I gotta give that a freaking shot. And sure enough, dude, like the creative juices just like go to the next level. Some people get high. I chew my Nicorette gum, but I'll tell you what, I do get a head rush. I get a freaking head rush from it.
Yep.
I do.
Are you on
yeah.
what milligram?
I got a buddy that
milligram?
quit smoking like 25 years ago, and he still chews that fucking gum.
Yeah,
Still
I
chews
believe
it.
it.
I
That's why.
consume more nicotine since I switched to gum than I ever did when I chewed or smoked, like by a long shot, because it's just so easy. I mean, it's right there, tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's like good chewing it when you don't think about it. But I tell you what, man, it definitely
Yeah,
can be
2 minutes,
addictive.
man. 2 minutes, and your brain's like, "Woo, here we go."
Yeah, it's like back in the game.
Well, of course, it's
for sure.
addictive. Nicotine's addictive. Period.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't think it would be as much so in gum, but it totally is, man. Because it's like it's the weirdest drug because it's like it will calm you down and amp you up at the same time. Because like if you get addicted
Kava.
to it,
Kava does the same.
Same, yeah. Because it's like you'll get anxious. Like if you find yourself getting anxious, kinetics, then nicotine will take that away, but it's a vicious cycle, and like the only way to like get away from that part of it is to quit. So it's like I'm actually in the process again of trying to quit chewing the nicotine gum because like that's my vice. It's like I don't drink, I don't do anything else.
Now, what's
And
that
then-
stuff cost per pack?
Dude, I'd be better
It's
off
not
buying a
cheap.
carton of fucking cigarettes. No, it's like
It's like a
$75
carton of
It is like a
seriously,
carton of
dude,
cigarettes.
It's like a carton of cigarettes.
Oh,
It's like
shit.
for 100 and you can get like I do the 2 milligram, but I'll often chew 2 pieces at a time, which I know is kind of dumb, but it's like one piece is kind of small.
I can't
right?
do
So,
2.
like,
I got sick to my stomach, like wanted to Ralph because it
On
was
2
8 milligram. Well, that's 8
Oh,
milligrams. These are 4 milligram
yeah,
nicotine.
Do
So
2 milligram and then just like chew 2 if you
no,
need it.
because I don't have to shoot 2 of them to get the same
Well,
effect.
that's true.
Place is expensive.
They're so small. It's like I couldn't do a half a piece of 4 milligram because it's like it'd get lost in my mouth. I'd damn near swallow it because it's like they're not very big. So I'd shoot 2 pieces of 2 milligram. But yeah, it's like my dad has vascular dementia, which is very similar to Alzheimer's, but there's some significant differences. And he's chewed tobacco he smoked for years. And then one of the upsides, I guess, of dementia is my mom just stopped giving him cigarettes one day and he forgot he smoked. So, he just stopped asking for cigarettes. It's like, all right, Dad, quit smoking after 80 years or whatever the fuck.
Dang.
And, but he still chews. So he has like this, it's called Futurepedia twist. It's like this old, like, looks like a pile of leaves that somebody just twisted into a knot. It looks like a twist donut. You know what I mean? Like that old dry shit you just bite a big chunk off. So he's been chewing that since before I was alive. So he still chews that every once in a while, but I got him on the nicotine gum, and the doctor was saying, like, at this age, it's like, he's in pretty good health. Everything else is good. The nicotine's actually probably helping him, with the dementia. It's like, with his memory and focus.
I can't
and
try
stuff.
that stuff. I'd be
Clinically proven, scientifically proven nicotine to be a neural hardener,
Yep.
I'd be putting that shit in a spoon within a
neural
week.
protective.
It's tricky though because it can cause cardiovascular issues if you're chewing it too frequently or too much. So just like be careful.
Well,
Once you're strung out on nicotine, Kenny.
No, I only take it once a day, and it's when I'm reading or when I'm writing. That's literally it. And I just want the creative juices to flow, and I just want to retain something.
Yep.
Like it's my study time, and I literally put on the background some synthwave on because it doesn't have lyrics to get in the way. My mind will go to the lyrics on the movie,
Totally same,
or on the music. So I need either synthwave or classical or something that doesn't have lyrics, but that has a rhythm to it. And I just get in this beam like focus. It's crazy.
Hey, well, speaking of music, it's like I got to bring it up because it's just an absolute idol of mine. But David Crosby passed away this past week. And,
that was a bummer.
Man, I was so terribly bummed out about that. I mean, he was just huge to me growing up.
Yeah,
I actually met him twice. And the girl I was dating at the time, way back in '91, we saw an acoustic tour with him and Graham Nash. And after the show, I told her, I said, just follow me, keep your head down, act like you belong. I said, we'll see if we can find backstage. So we sneak around. We're at a university in Southern Ohio. And we sneak around and we go through this door, and all of a sudden there's all these people standing there with backstage passes on. And I'm like, oh shit, we're backstage. So just like act like you belong, don't make eye contact with anybody, and we'll just try not to get kicked out. A few minutes later, Graham Nash comes walking in, And then this guy walks over to him with a guitar, and then other people kind of swarm around him to get autographs, and I'm just kind of standing there. And then David walks out, and then a bunch of people swarm around him, you know, ask him for autographs and talking to him, and I'm just like petrified, like, oh my God, these are like idols of mine. And I'm talking to this, I mean, she's probably at that point, you know, younger than I am now, but an older woman. I was 20 at that point, and I was chatting with her and, you know, just talking about how great the show was and how much I love him. And she was like, well, have you met David yet? And I'm like, no, it's like, I'm too nervous. I don't want to bother him. And she goes, well, come on. So she grabs me by the hand and leads me over. And it was Jan Crosby. It was his wife. I'd been talking to her the whole time. I had no idea. So she leads me over and said, David, I want to introduce you to my friends, Toby and Lori, and introduce us to Dave Crosby. So then I talked to him for a few minutes, and I can't remember much of what I said. I'm sure I just blathered on like some idiot. And so he looks at me and he goes, well, have you met Graham? And I'm like, no, not yet. And he goes, well, come on. So like he literally like goes out of the group of people that are surrounding him and walks over and like separates the crowd around Graham. He's like, hey, Graham, I want to introduce you to my friends Toby and Lori, and introduced me to fucking Graham Nash. And I mean, it was like the most surreal thing ever. You know, it's cool. Like just I was like, glowing forever. And then 10 years later, I on a whim, I went to the Kiel Center in St. Louis when they did the CSNY2K reunion tour when Neil Young rejoined them after 25 years. And I, you know, was sitting out in the audience, and I'm probably, I don't know, 20, 25 rows back, something in the center. And I noticed this couple before the show comes on, and they have backstage passes on. So I start chatting with them, and like, I said, man, I wish I had like a little digital, and this is before digital scanners were like common. And I'm like, I wish I had like a little scanner or something. I could make a copy of that for myself. And the girl looks at the guy, and she goes, well, are we going back after the show? And apparently it was Steven Stills, massage therapist and chiropractor. And they had done a treatment on him prior to the show. So she goes, and the guy that she was with, his name was Steve. She was like, well, Steve, are we going back after? He goes, no, probably not. So she peels her backstage pass off and sticks it on my chest. And I'm like, no fucking way. I'm like, I've got a backstage pass. This is great. And I had smuggled in a camera. So this time I was going to have evidence that I met these guys. So I hang out, and like, you know, I move back to my seat, and it was getting toward the end of the show, and they just started to play the song 8 Miles High, which I don't know how many of you are fans of them, but that's a brilliant song. And these two adorable little hippie girls that were probably like, I'm, you know, 30 at that point, and they're probably like 22 or 23 or something, come sit down next to me and light the stinkiest fucking joint ever. And like just hand it to me, like whatever. So I end up getting super stoned, listening to 8 Miles High with Steven Stills and you know, Neil Young, like jamming off each other. Show ends, I go backstage, and I'm, you know, off to the side again, and you know, just kind of taking it all in. And I see Jan, and I start to tell her the story. And she goes, oh yeah. She goes, you were that really cute couple. She goes, you know, where's your blonde girlfriend? So she totally remembered me from 10 years before. I was blown away, man. It was like so surreal. And just a great memory. Just a great memory. And they were such kind people, and I got some good pictures. And met Steven briefly. Tried to talk to Neil. I mean, all I could say to him was thank you. But his guards were like right on it. Like, and, you know, weren't, you know, he was not as accommodating as the other three. But at least I got to say something to him. But yeah, man, it's like those were some of the greats, man, and we're losing them. It was sad to see David Crosby go. He was
and everybody thinks David Crosby was a peace-loving hippie. Boy, that guy was a drug smuggling, gun running, crazy man. He was
fucking menage a trois having sailboat captain pirate. He was a pirate, right?
Yeah, he was a pirate, dude. He's like he got caught concealed carrying when he was supposed to, like, I don't know how many times.
Yeah, he's a trip.
I was actually going to break in and say that I can't top that story. So good night, everybody.
Good night.
And you know what? I don't think any of us can.
That's all I